Can anxiety make you sick? Yes, anxiety can make you sick and sometimes very sick. That's because anxious behavior, which creates anxiety, activates the stress response, more commonly known as a fight-or-flight response. The stress response secretes powerful stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol into the bloodstream, where they travel throughout the body to bring about specific physiological, psychological, and emotional changes that quickly prepare the body for immediate emergency action. Stress hormones affect all of the body's major systems, including the nervous system, which includes the brain, brainstem, and all the nerves throughout the body, the respiratory system, which includes your airways, lungs, and blood vessels, the endocrine system, which includes all the glands that make and regulate hormones, the cardiovascular circulatory system, which includes the heart and blood vessels, the digestive system, which includes the mouth, esophagus, stomach, intestines, and anus, the urinary system, which includes the kidneys, ureters, bladder, and urethra, the reproductive system, which includes all the reproductive organs, the musculoskeletal system, which includes all the body's muscles, the integumentary system, which includes the skin and associated glands, hair, and nails, and the lymphatic system, which includes the circulatory and immune systems. You can visit our stress response article for the many ways it affects the body. The link is in the description. As you can see, an anxiety-triggered stress response can affect the body in many ways, all of which have the potential to make you feel sick when a stress response is active. The more anxious you are, the higher the degree of the stress response. And the higher the degree of the stress response, the more dramatic the changes. Many people feel sick when a stress response is active, especially with high-degree stress responses. Thankfully, as the stress response ends, so do its changes, and as the stress response changes end, we can return to feeling normal. However, all that changes when anxiety becomes chronic. Chronic anxiety can chronically trigger the stress response, leaving the body in a state of semi-stress response readiness, which we call stress response hyperstimulation, since stress hormones are powerful stimulants. Consequently, all these systems can be affected and produce symptoms when the body becomes hyperstimulated. Hyperstimulation is the most common cause of out-of-the-blue and persistent anxiety symptoms. The higher the degree of hyperstimulation, the more problems it can cause. In addition to the physical symptoms associated with hyperstimulation, hyperstimulation can also lead to chronic digestive problems, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, immune system problems, chronic pain, chronic muscle tension, difficulty thinking, skin problems, sensory symptoms, sleep disruption, fatigue, and a host of other physical problems, conditions, and symptoms. Based on all the changes caused by anxiety and hyperstimulation, it's easy to see why we can feel sick, and even very sick. The more anxious you are, the more likely you'll feel sick. So again, yes, anxiety can make you feel sick, and even very sick, for many reasons. Thankfully, we can reverse all this by addressing our anxiety and hyperstimulation issues. Working with an experienced anxiety disorder therapist is the most effective way to overcome problematic anxiety and hyperstimulation. For a more in-depth explanation, visit the article, Can Anxiety Make You Sick? The link is in the description.